All right. So her range number 2 looks good. This low, oh, actually should be up to this high here. So remember your range is that lowest point all the way up to the highest. So the top of your range can be a wick of a black candle, it can be a black candle, it can be the wick of a purple candle or a purple candle, and vice versa. So a low of a range and a high of a range can be any color. So just keep that in mind. So this should be pulled up here. And then let's see what else. So then right here, she has a market structure shift to the upside. This right here would be incorrect. This would be a structure break to the upside. And that is because our bullish range is from this low all the way up to this high here. All right. So this low to this high, and then this should be a structure break to the upside. And then range number 3, this low all the way up to this high here. So this is all one move up. And then price is just in between range 3 right here. So does that make sense? Any questions on this example? The range start at the black one or the black one at the end. So the last range starts from this black candle all the way up to this purple candle. So that's the lowest point before we got that huge push. All right, if you want me to go over yours specifically, just do this. So just here's your chart, just go like reply and just add sire. So just do something like that so then I can immediately go to it. All right, let's do Shanice. She says not too confident in the chart. Okay, do better. Let's look. Okay, so right here at the start, her first range is incorrect because if we look beforehand, price is on a downtrend. So here we have this push down, push to the downside, and this low essentially came from this high here. That's the last push up before we got this low. So we should be in this range. So between these red lines, that's our bearish range. And then once price broke the high instead, that gave us a market structure shift to the upside. So then her second range here, this low to this high is correct. So that's good. Structure break here, it looks good. Third range, low to high, correct. Fourth range, low to high, correct. Structure break here, this next range, low to high, correct. Structure break, this low here to this high here, another range, structure break, correct. This low to this high, looks great. Market structure shift to the downside, looks good. This low gets broken here, structure break, good job. Yeah, so overall this is good. Just the beginning. So just remember always when you start, just look where it's the range that you're making is coming from. Any questions on this one? All right, great. Yeah, so today we're just getting in reps. I'm not gonna introduce new content today because I don't feel confident that everyone is at the level you should be before we move on. So today we're just getting in our reps. And then for this whole week, you should, after this week ends, going into next week, you should be a master at understanding market structure. And then next week, then that's where we get into kind of like the tricks of market structure. And then that's where you're able to start piecing together how to actually find trades. All right, let's see, this is Google 1 week. You started 2020. It's on a phone, so I can't really see it. So I'll go to the chart in a little bit. All right, Tavares, let's see what you got here. Low to high, looks great. Structure break to the upside, good. Low to high, great. Structure break, good. Low to high. Structure break here, good. Low to high. There is no structure break right here, but there's a market structure shift here, which you have, good job. Bearish range here, great job. This right here is going to be a market structure shift to the upside from this to this. And this right here is a structure break, this low to this high, good job. All right, Messiah, let's see what you got. Bullish range here, structure break, good, good, structure break, good, good, structure break. Shift to the downside, looks good. Bearish range, good, structure break. Bearish range, market structure shift to the upside, looks good. Market structure shift to the downside, great job, this is perfect. All right, let's do this one next. Bullish range here, market structure shift to the downside, good. Bearish range, shift to the upside, shift to the downside. It's good. Bearish range, structure break, shift to the upside, shift to the downside. Bearish range here, shift to the upside. Good. Yeah, this looks good. Good job. Let me see. I think JT covered this one, if I'm not mistaken. All right, bullish range, structure break. So for this one here, if this is your low and this is your high, you can see this low placed a higher high. So between here and here is the new range. And then here, this bullish range 2 that you have should be pushed all the way up to here. So this whole thing is your bullish range. This to here, I can't really tell because there's too many boxes. But let's just say this low to this high is a range. So the break of this should be a shift to the downside. and this is a bearish range. And this right here, instead of it being a shift to the downside, should be a structure break to the downside. This bearish range is fine, and this bearish range should start from here, and so forth. So still some work. I don't know why the screen keeps going away. All right, let's do this one, then we'll go to the other group. Okay, so starting from here at this high, came from this low, so there should be a shift to the downside here. Bearish range, break to the downside. This should be a shift to the upside. This should be shift to the downside here. Structure break, shift to the upside here. This low to this high. And this high that made this low down here, that should be your shift to the downside. And then this right there would be push to the upside, and then your structure breaks would come after that with all of these. All right, so let me go to a diagram. All right, so let's go to QQQ today. All right, so we see we have price still in this bearish range. So everything inside of this bearish range is considered internal. So technically, since price is moving up on a 1 hour time frame, we are still bearish. But on a lower time frame, if we went to like a 15-minute, it's the opposite. So when price goes from bullish to bearish or bearish to bullish or whatever, think about it like this. Price starts changing from a lower time. So for us to go bullish on a higher time frame, like a 1 hour, we have to be bullish on these lower time frames first. So that's how price works. Everything starts off on the lower time frames, and then we get to the higher time frames. So if I went to a 1 minute, I can see, all right, here is the lowest point we have, and it came from this high. Here we have a market structure shift to the upside once we break that red line. And then from here, we can see price continues to move higher. So right here, we have a shift to the downside. Here we have one back to the upside. And then from here, we continue to be bullish. Structure break. Structure break. So 1 minute time frame, we became bullish as soon as we broke here. So I'll just put this here. Now if we go to a 5 minute, we didn't become bullish until we broke, honestly I'd say about like here, or you could even say here. We didn't become bullish until we broke here. That's where we got the shift to the upside. And as we can see, there's our bullish range. And then price started becoming bullish here. Whereas on a 1 minute, we became bullish down here. If we go to a 15 minute, we didn't, we didn't necessarily become bullish yet until we break here. If we go to a 4-hour time frame, we don't become bullish on a 4-hour until we break here. So as you can see, the lower the time frame we're on, the sooner a shift will happen. The higher the time frame we're on, the later it'll happen. And that's kind of how like time frame scaling works. Yep, exactly. So on the higher time frame can say one thing, the lower time frame can be another, because the time frames all have to align together. If something is bearish and is switching to bullish, and I'll draw it out on a diagram. So if something on a higher time frame is like this, let's say this is a 4-hour time frame. Let's say at this point here, now on a 4-hour, we're like, okay, we're bearish. If you, like on a, let me see, I'll do this exact same diagram, but show how it'll look on a 5-minute or 1 minute. So it'll be like this. Say here, here's our move up. And by the time we have a market structure shift on a 4-hour, it's right here. So I'll just put 4-hour market structure shift. Whereas we can see like on a 5-minute, boom, we would have had a shift all the way up here. So it has to happen first on the lower time frames, and then it goes up to the higher time frames. So instead of, that's why I say like, you don't go to chart something and like use a 4-hour time frame for a bias. Because if you're just simply waiting for price to come all the way down here, you could have easily just went to a 15-minute and you could have figured out price was gonna go down here all the way up here. What do you mean by sooner as in on a 4-hour? Right, exactly. So on a lower time frame, a market structure shift or whatever is going to happen earlier because you're getting more information. So like when you're on a lower time frame, everything is moving a lot faster and you have more information. When you're on a higher time frame, you have less information and you can't really see the details. So like, let's say I have a pair of jeans, and within the pair of jeans, I have like a tiny, actually, what's something that breaks easily? It's talking about a heart. Toothpick. All right, glass. Okay, that's a good example. All right, let's take a piece of glass. So let's say I have a glass window, And let's say within the glass window, there's like tiny cracks in it, but you can only see that if your eyes are super close to it, but you can't see it if you're like 5 feet away. So imagine there being so many tiny cracks in the glass. Imagine that being like the lower time frame. You can see it's breaking, but only when you're in super close, only when you're zoomed in super close. But if you're far away, you're not going to see it until it already is happening. So then let's say the glass breaks and like boom, now you see it even if you're 5 feet away because it's fully broken. Whereas if you were up close to it, you could have seen the glass was breaking like a week ago. It's kind of like that. I don't know if that was a good example. Does that make sense? All right. Good. All right, let's do some more. Let's do AMD. All right, actually, let's do Starbucks. Yeah, I like this example better. Okay, so Starbucks. Here we have our lowest point. This low came from this high right here. So as soon as we broke this high at 81.90, we're bullish. We're switching to bullish, okay? If we go to a 4-hour, on a 4-hour time frame, let's find where that lowest point is, right here. As soon as we broke 75.25, now we're switching to bullish. Let's go down to a 1-hour. Let's find that lowest point here. On a 1-hour, as soon as we broke past 73.14, we're bullish. And if we just keep going down, it's gonna get closer and closer and closer to the lowest point. So on a weekly, we weren't bullish until we broke this here. All the way back down here. So now just to mark out market structure. So here we have this low to this high, bullish range. Once that high is broken, structure break to the upside here. Range right here, structure break there. And then our last bullish range is from here to here. Now, instead of making a new high, we made a new low. So therefore we have a shift to the downside. So there's our bearish range. So we can see this whole area is our weekly bearish range. So instead of breaking the low to make a new low, we actually peaked past the high. So now we showed signs of bullishness. So remember, all right, let's break this. That's a little confusing. Let's do it this way. All right, here to here is our starting point. So what is this red line? What does this red line represent? You guys aren't paying attention. I don't think anyone got it right. Okay, one person got it right. Maniela got it right. So this red line here, so the break of this high doesn't mean anything. A lot of you guys said a structure break to the upside. That's incorrect. A lot of you guys said market structure shift to the upside. That's incorrect. Now, the reason why this isn't a market structure shift to the upside is because this is the low that gave us this high. Where did this low come from? This high right here. So this high here is a market structure shift to the upside as soon as we break that. So let's put a red line here. Market structure shift to the upside, okay? Remember, you don't gotta answer right away. Just take a second, think, and then answer. All right, so now we have price. And what does this gray area represent? Yep, bearish range. So what does the break of this red line here mean? This one. All right, see, 8 people got it wrong so far. 9 people got it wrong. 10 people got it wrong. 11 people. 12 people. 13. Remember, this is the exact same thing that we just did. Look at where this high came from. It came from right here. This is the range of this high. So did price break the low of the range first, or did we break the high of the range first? Exactly. So therefore, this break is going to be market structure shift to the downside. Okay? Whereas this right here means nothing. So this low here, once this low is broken, what does this mean? What does this represent? Yep, exactly, nothing. This right here is nothing. Doesn't mean anything because this low is inside of our bullish range. This high here, what does this represent? Yep, market structure shift to the upside. Just like that. And then what does this high to this low? Move this over. What is this range here? And I'll change it to, what's this blue range represent? Nothing. Good job. What does this blue range represent? Yep, a bearish range. Now here we have a bullish range. Now price is in between this low, and then we are in between this high. So here we can see we broke the high, structure break to the upside. And this right here is going to be our next bullish range, right here. Shift to the downside, and then our last bullish range is here. Why isn't the last one a bearish range? So this is a bullish range because, oh wait, sorry, I missed it. This low here to this high here is a range. This low here to this high here is a range. And then we have, oh wait, hold on, am I tripping? I think I don't looked at this too many times. Low to high, a range, and then here we have a bearish range. And then here we have a shift back to the upside. Yeah, you guys, you guys are overworking me. Looked at this so many times. I'm starting to get confused myself. All right, so I'm gonna add this diagram to you guys' chat. All right, let's do another example. What's up? Put a random stock in the chat. Yeah, I'm gonna post this in the study material. Someone said XRP. That's a good one. All right, on a weekly XRP. So crypto's a little different because like we'll have a long periods of consolidation. Oh, this is a market cap. Yeah, so a lot of this stuff, like consolidation simply just means price moving in the same area. So like all of this would be considered consolidation. Whereas stocks, it's not really gonna do that. But like simply where price is right now for XRP, this low to this high, bullish range, shift to the upside, this low to this high, bullish range. That's really it. Then if we go down to, say, a 4 hour, let's do a daily. A daily, this low to this high, bullish range, structure break to the upside here, this low to this high, bullish range. Pretty straightforward. Why don't you trade market caps? If I'm not mistaken, well, I mean, I don't really trade crypto like that anyways. Let's see. This is one from NVIDIA. So we can see here today, this high to this low. Got a break to the downside, and then we also had a shift to the upside today. Just like that. So is NVIDIA now on a 1 hour bullish or bearish? Yep, exactly, bullish. All right, just looking at this, is Microsoft bullish or bearish right now? Yep, bullish. There's our lowest point. We had a shift here today. Bullish range prices in right now. This low to this high. Facebook, been bullish after we broke this high. Bullish range is here. Next bullish range is here. Next bullish range is here. Apple, pretty obvious. This is pretty bullish. Range right here. Can you do Southwest Airlines? Yes. So let's do a monthly. So on a monthly, we're in a what? I want you guys to tell me. Are we bullish or bearish right now? In a monthly time frame. Yep, so we're bearish. The range that we're trading within is this high here to this low. So right within a bearish range. Are you looking at particular dates? Nope, just simply looking at the range that price is currently in. So like with this, the dates down here don't matter at all. The way you should do it is like, okay, I can see prices at 31. So just look at the overall picture. Where's the lowest point? Here. It came from this high. Okay, price is inside of this high to this low. So therefore, our range is sitting right in between here. So we're waiting for price to either give us a shift or give us a structure break to the downside. All right, let's see. Let's go over a couple more. Just want to make sure you guys understand this, because if you don't understand how to read ranges, everything else is going to be hard. Let's see, someone said Google. Most likely probably going to be, yeah. Monthly or bullish, weekly. This low to this high. If we go down to a 4 hour, we can see as soon as we broke this low here, we're bearish on a 4-hour. This high down to this low, that's our bearish range. But on a weekly, we're still bullish. If we go to a 1-hour, we were bearish as soon as we broke. So on a 4-hour, we were bearish as soon as we broke this. So I'll just put 4H. On a 1-hour, we were bearish as soon as we broke this. 1H. On a 15-minute, it's the exact same. So as you can see, where we triggered our bearish bias is very different due to the time frames. Here, we're bearish at 196. Here, we're bearish at 192. So $4 difference. Okay. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you guys feel about market structure right now? All right, if you are anywhere below an 8, you need to spend the next, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You need to spend the next 5 days putting an effort trying to understand it or just ask questions. Because next week, we're moving on. And we move on next week, if you don't understand just the simple basics of how to read a shift versus a break, it's gonna be confusing. Because now next week we're gonna start talking about how to read internal structure and how that will relate and line up to external structure. Because for price to become bullish here and then bearish here, something has to happen internally for price to get there. So what I mean by that is if we have this right here, we have a shift to the downside, and we can see this range is bullish. Something had to happen inside of this bullish range for price to become bearish, because this doesn't happen just randomly. Nothing in the market happens randomly. Nothing. There's always something that makes something happen. Okay, so next week, that's what we're going to get into, and we're going to focus more on this stuff right here in blue. And then we'll start getting into this stuff right here in black and so forth, because we read this. So for example, if this was a chart, you'll understand after the mentorship is over, is like you can see, okay, right here, price is gonna become bearish, and now we're gonna be targeting a market structure shift. So you're gonna be looking to catch puts all the way down to here. And then you're gonna know, oh, okay, boom, we got a market structure shift. But even though that's a shift, that doesn't necessarily mean price is really bearish. Because from here, you can get something like this. Just like that. And then we're going to talk about how to actually spot stuff like this. These are the type of trades I catch and my mentees catch. So like, for example, I'll show you the trade I took today. Let me see. Oh my gosh, I deleted it at the beginning. All right, All right, so on a 1 hour time frame, you can see we're in this bearish range, just like that. So everything inside is internally bearish, but it's not necessarily the case. So from here, within this internal structure, the trade I caught was on this push down, right within this vicinity here. The trade I caught specifically, so I sold this about like right within this area, like right a little bit above, yeah, right here. So I caught puts today from 30, that's about like right here. Just to about here. So yeah, price is in a bearish range on a higher time frame, but I know, okay, due to what we have internally, it's pretty obvious price is gonna sell off in the morning. Now, as price is selling off, this is a trade that I caught. I took puts at 515 and I targeted this 512 area. And here is the trade right here. You can see this took like 7 minutes, 40%, $1,200. Yeah, so I sold right here, obviously for a reason, because I knew once price got here, we should be looking for a reversal. And as you can see, as price came to this area, what happened? We got a humongous reversal throughout the rest of the day. So today, could you have made money if you played puts or calls? Yes, you can, but you just have to decide which one you want to do. So for me personally, I like trading off the open rather than later in the day. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to look for sells or for puts in the morning. But if I really wanted to, I could have been like, okay, later on throughout the day, I see we hit our area. Now we're starting to get a reversal. Now I'm gonna start looking to play calls. So no matter if you did, there's opportunities in the market every day for anyone to eat, no matter if you want to play calls or puts. Like if something's gonna go up, 9 out of 10 times, it's not just gonna shoot up like this. You're gonna get gradual moves like this. Now, throughout this diagram, if you play calls here, you can make money. Play calls here, you can make money. Calls here, you can make money, and so forth. If you played puts here, you can make money. If you played puts all the way down here, you can make money. And here, there's so many opportunities for everyone to win. You just have to understand what team you want to be a part of. And once you understand that, you can look at the market and you can say, okay, here's my opportunity. And you have to know when your opportunity is over. So I knew, okay, as soon as price gets here, my opportunity is done. I need to close it. I need to go on about my day because now the other people, it's their turn to shine. And that's really all trading is. Where does the market structure shift based on QQ reversal? So if we were just looking at this on like a lower time frame, let's say like a 15-minute, our first reversal would be here. There's your first shift. And then here we have a shift back to the downside. But it's not really a shift. Like, we'll talk about it next week and it'll make a lot more sense. How much do you leverage breaking news as an indicator? There's market shift. You don't really use news for any of that. If you're looking at more homework assignments after this part of the discussion, yeah. Are we gonna learn where and when to open trades next week? Yes, but no. So where to look at, like we're gonna start looking at how to identify where price should go. Now, that's very different from identifying entry points. So next week is not entries, it's about identifying direction in price. So next week, if we get through everything, you'll be able to look at a chart and understand, okay, once we go right here, price is gonna go up. And you're gonna be able to understand that very easily. How do you find the zone? You'll learn that later on. Yeah, so let's go over a couple more homework assignments. All right, Jeremiah Daniels just submitted, so let's look at his. All right, so he started here. This low up to this high is a range. This low to this high is another range. This low to this high is a range. Right here, shift to the downside. Right here, shift to the upside. It came from this low here, and you have shift to the downside. That's good. Shift back to the upside. That's good. So then your bullish range is from here to here. And there's your structure break. This low to this high, structure break. So this right here is nothing because all of this is just one move. This low to this high, that's good. Structure break. This low to this high is our current range. So here to here. So not bad. Let's see right here. This is the last one we'll do. Bullish range, shift to the downside. Shift to the upside, bullish range, shift to the downside, structure break. Yep. If we break this, shift to the upside, break this, break to the downside. Good job. So yeah, overall not bad. So today I hope really put into perspective who needs to practice and who is getting it. So really just stick to it, practice over the next 5 days, because next week it's going to be a whole different topic. All right. So your guys' homework, honestly, is just to practice. Like there's not a specific chart I want you to practice on, but I'll post in the chat what your homework is, and obviously leave feedback on today's session. And other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow with the meeting with JT hosting.
If I had $1 for every time these niggas hate, I'd be rich like Jan', yeah. I got rich with baby face. We came up just making plays, and I feel just like Beyonce. Niggas love to say my name. I came back out front no nigga. I bring more smoke to Taylor gang. I'm the GOAT, dunk in front of free throw. Fade away, whipping dough, make it big shine. You can't say it ain't. I know if I wasn't that great, they wouldn't even be doing shit. Say that shit come with the game. Nigga, I ain't never been no game. I don't even wanna conversate, nigga, lie right to my face. Yeah, I probably be under the jail, they know how much crime I did today. Damn, cry, baby V's, using honeys, wipe it away. I don't got change for 20, nigga, 20 ain't number change. I'm tired of giving niggas game, I'm shopping, copping, Melly boy, I got this down in MIA. This little bitch will get a house to bang, I met her in LA. I got blood and bombs and crisp on slides and gon' make sure I'm say yeah. Thought he breaking glory game, slimy, I should be ashamed. He done dropped 100 tapes, made no noise like Pootie Tang. Really my heart so icy, I'm like Shiesty, I'm like Gucci, man. I'm down to a 4 a day, dirty water, Louis Red. These stupid